Amend the Mass Media Group is California Capital's premier YouTube channel focused on reparations, dedicated to political advocacy and unapologetically aimed at shining a spotlight on our righteous justice claim for reparations. Tune in to ETM Media Group YouTube channel Tuesdays at 9 p.m. PST.
We do show intros, show outros, voiceover, script copy, 15 and 30-second promos. Check us out at etmmediagroup.com. That's etmmediagroup.com for more info and updates and to get involved.
So we made it, guys.
We are here. Can you believe that?
Not really. What an egregious waste of taxpayer money.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, we're here. It's the recall season in California. It is what it is. So what's good, fam? We have CO in the building. It's. Were you here on the last call?
You.
I can't remember on the last community call.
I don't think I was here for the last community call. No.
Okay, so you are actually officially back in the building.
Back in the building. Happy to be back. I appreciate y'all having me on. As always, happy to roll with the crew. And
appreciate you.
Speak to issues going on for Californians and just, our people all over the world.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is jumping off. I don't know if our man Chris is in the building or not. You want to try? Maybe
I see him. I see him.
He's
popping in. He's coming in. He's what do they call it? Loading.
Political
get my right. What's going on? I'm ready for this party.
All right. Well, I guess let's get this party started.
So I guess before we actually start getting into we usually do our in the news, fam, and you know how that goes. I just wanted to talk about some things that have actually been going on. We had to take last week off because In the Mass Media Group has been out on the ground, on location, doing it big. So we're just going to run through a couple of these promos. Appreciate everyone's patience on this. So let's just go through some of this stuff. Looks like last week, Ken? We were out in the park for the Poor People's campaign. Was that right?
Yes. That would have been, it was a Friday, and I know it wasn't the Friday that just passed, so it would have been the Friday before that. But
okay.
Yeah, that's how I keep track of time nowadays.
It was crazy. So we're going to show you a promo. We're actually going to try to post it this week. Great information. It was some great people out there who are supporting the cause. So let's go ahead and quickly run this promo. We'll briefly talk about our time there at the park, and then we'll keep the show moving. So here we go. So here we are at the Poor People's Campaign, and we're speaking with, do you mind saying your name, please?
Sure, my name is Faye Wilson Kennedy. I'm one of the co-chairs for the California Poor People's Campaign.
All right, so what are you doing out here today?
So today, the California Poor People's Campaign, in conjunction and in partnership with the California Homeless Union, is sponsoring a welcome dinner for those freedom riders who started out throughout California, and today they converged on Sacramento.
All right, so looks like Chris is jumping in and out of here. That's why you have this brand thing going on. We had 4, now it's only 3. It's all good. So we're actually going to go ahead and then play another clip that hopefully Chris is back in the building again. Let's see if we can add him. We're going to quickly play this clip that we did at the Broadway International Festival, and then we'll actually probably talk about a little bit about the park dinner thing, because I want everybody to watch it actually. So we'll go back, but let's play this promo clip. We'll talk about the park for a little bit, and then we'll talk about the Broadway International Festival that we attended.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Testing. 1 1 1.
I think you know the intro.
Yo.
You want to do like the intro, and then we go and start going into some questions.
So peace. What's up? Hope all is good. What is going on? Happy Sunday. Happy Labor Day weekend to you. Yes.
So yes, fam. So those clips, those full edits will be available. We've got some great testimony from the community and the family. So please go support the channel. Go check that out. Kim, you want to kind of give a brief summary on the poor people's
I believe it. Yeah, the Poor People's Campaign. I believe it was called Homeless Freedom Ride, and it was these organizations and homeless people from all across California. They made a trek by, however they could get there, plane, train, automobile, walk, however, and they converged here on Sacramento for a dinner in the park to raise awareness to the homeless issues that we're having here in California.
Yeah, it was a wonderful build. We actually had a chance to talk to one of the coordinators there, as you saw in the clip. And then we had a wonderful build with an elder in the community, and also another elder who actually fought in Vietnam. This brother was talking about his experience. So it was a really, really, really good, informative piece that we did. And shout out to the brother. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. So definitely salute to that brother, because he put in his time for this country. And he's a vet, he told about his story. So it's really good. I don't want to give any spoilers away. You guys got to check it out, because he actually talks about how Black soldiers, and that's the thing. There's been some movies about Vietnam, and I even know Spike Lee did a movie. I think it's called Blood Brothers or something like that. And it kind of touched on it, but it really didn't touch on it. My dad's father, who was actually a Vietnam vet, my dad's friend, who actually went and served in the Vietnam War, he's no longer with us. He's an ancestor, but he talked about his experience. So I asked the brother, the other vet. I was like, hey, did you have the same experience? He said, yes, for Black people, this what it was like. We just had a different experience than white people. So even in war, even when we do serve the United States of America, we as Black people have a different experience. So go check that out. It was a great build. I'm telling you guys are going to learn a lot from that. So that actually probably is going to be posting either Wednesday, Thursday, or something like that. But if you hit that bell, subscribe to our channel, you guys will see the full edit. Now, the Broadway Festival, my man Chris, the International Festival.
Yeah.
You want to go in, bro?
Yeah, and I hope y'all feeling my threads. Okay.
You looking good, brother.
Appreciate what's right. I wanna match the occasion and all that, since we're gonna be doing some punditry, and some commentary, political stuff. But yeah, no, big shout out to Queen Sheba Restaurant here in Sacramento, which is a Black-owned restaurant, which I think was a big part of the reason why we had the Broadway International Festival. It was 3 blocks. So shut down. Broadway actually reminded me a lot, actually, like how festivals be like street festivals, because we have and to see a lot of people out there. Great turnout, great event, a lot of Black business on there. Yes, we was out there. Wish I had a flyer right to show you. But we was out there handing out the flyers, talk folks. As you can really good content, make sure subscribe to ETM because that's where you're gonna find good content. The good brother Umoya caught at that Broadway International Festival. I think you just saw like a little sneak peek. And yeah, man, we was out there talking to people in the community, talking to Black business owners, talking to just regular Black people, giving them flyers, and just building and connecting. So. I'm glad we got a chance to do that. That's the third. Like we were out, like we've been out in the community. I think 3 out of 5 weekends. I feel like so. So we're good work going on. And yeah, can't wait to. You on mute like what? You still on mute. We're like,
brother, we can't hear you. Now you just playing with us.
Just like I know I'm saying. Yeah, brother. If you don't mind calling on the line, we're getting a little feedback. I think. Are you guys picking that up too? From his line? Okay, yeah, brother. I don't know if you can call in.
Yeah, I got you. No worries at all.
All right, dope. Appreciate it. So we're gonna go through a couple more promos, and then we're gonna get to the in the news stuff. So let's I guess Kim, let's go to the. Let's see who is our wonderful sponsor. Let's see, Kim, would you like to take that?
Let's see. Of course. We have Influenced by Cultures, specializing in waist beads, holistic customs, and handcrafted goods. Danny G is the owner of this business. Again, she does beautiful handcrafted wares. I like to buy what I call them our aura candles. They're these candles. You get one for whatever mood you're in, whatever you pick out for the day, as kind of sets the mood for it. So go there for all your holistic and custom handcrafted needs.
All right, and we are back. So I guess we also been really busy. Doing a lot of things, right? Been on the ground, had to take last week off. So before we're going to get to the news, fam. We are going to get there. But went to go check out Candyman. That was a very interesting film. If you guys have a chance, I would suggest actually going to check it out. Mass Media Group went to go check it out. we have a review. I think it's posted on the channel. If you haven't yet seen our review, please go check that out, because I don't know, it was very interesting. It was like they, for some reason, decided to go one direction with this film, and I just felt like I didn't know if they were taking it all the way, but there were some surprising things in there. So I'm not going to give up the review here. Go check out, it's on our channel. So after the show, when you have a chance or throughout the week, whatever, go check that review out. If you have a chance to check out the movie, go check it out. I do recommend it, so you guys can have your own opinions. Obviously, it's not a full Black-owned movie, but it has a lot of Black people in there. So if you're into Black cinema, I do recommend it for sure. And yes, Chris, we can hear you, sir. So
Yes.
you are in
Much better, brother.
much better, and you are in full
Yeah,
effect.
we're in the building. Oh, yeah, they got the voice now. Okay.
So yeah, so we got the voice, and we also went out and checked. Shout out to our ancestor. Respect for Aretha Franklin.
Much respect.
Much respect to that sister. We also did a review, so if you guys haven't seen that review or heard it, go check that out. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. So I think that's about it for now.
And did you tell them to check out Respect on their streaming services? It was in theaters for what, about a week and a half, and is Candyman even still in theaters? You gotta catch them quick if you want to see them in theater.
Yeah, they actually had. Well, the reason why I think it went to streaming so fast, because they didn't actually meet their return on their investment. So it fell short a couple mil. So they were just like, oh well, let's get it going. Now with Candyman, they actually pretty much, and I say this in the review, they actually made up their debut opening at like 22. I think their budget was 25 million. They actually made like 23 or 24 million domestically, the opening, and I think it's around 47, almost 50 million right now. So they're gonna keep.
Did they extend the run? Because I know you were trying to get in there by Thursday. You're like, it's going to be gone by Thursday.
I thought it was going to be gone because I didn't see any times on there, and I was like, oh, we better get it in, because there was a sister who did a movie called Juneteenth, and that was really just on Juneteenth. And that was it. They showed it on Juneteenth, and it was out, and it wasn't available on June 14th. So I want to see if I can get a hold of the filmmaker who did the movie Juneteenth. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but I want to see if we can reach out to her to see if she can, give us some information on how she came about getting involved with that film. I don't think it necessarily has too much to do with like the history of the celebration. It's kind of like a narrative on something else with Juneteenth. So I kind of want to, pick her brain to kind of see why she decided to go that direction.
That'd be cool.
And I think that's about it. And family, if you want to call in, the phone lines are open and they are working. We have our man.
Join me.
Chris.
I'm on the phone. I called them.
See?
You can do it too.
Participate, family. Participate. 720-740. 9699. Hit that access code 6572569.
Yeah, call in. Let us know what's on your mind. We got a lot going on tonight, right? We got recall, right? This is a community recall in live. I just made that up, by the way. And we want to hear from you. Normally, as you more and everybody else has been saying, we do this normally at 9 p.m. on Tuesdays, 9 p.m. every single Tuesday. But we're coming to you live for a special recall in edition because today is the last day to vote in the California recall election, and I voted today. I don't know, did y'all vote?
Yep, I sure did. I went in and voted.
Yeah, I put my ballot in last week.
Oh yeah, right. That's my sticker.
Came out.
I am.
Is that a red, black, and green sticker?
No, that's probably just the color temperature. It would be dope though if it was.
That would be.
I have to
So,
make
Chris,
that.
well, before we get into the news, man, actually, do you want to give
Yeah.
the fam kind of some updates on what you're doing? I know the Political Goat Show. If you want to give the family,
Yeah.
you know, your whatever you're doing before we get into it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Quick plug. Yo, I started a new podcast. Hey, I started a new podcast. It's called Reparations Report. It's on Spotify right now. It's on Google Podcasts. It's on Anchor, Breaker, somewhere else. They put them everywhere. So Reparations Report. You can follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram at Reparations Report. We bring you reparations news and info that Black people should know. We do it right here live from Sacramento. And what we want to do is bring you reparations news, you know, on a regular basis, right? And the idea is to make sure that reparations is a part of our conversations in between elections, right? And on a regular basis so that the idea gets more out there and also we get more support. So check it out. Thank you for the plug. Also, the Political Go TPG, we are every Sunday. I believe we're going every Sunday at 10. We didn't do it last Sunday because we was going to do recall today anyway. So every Sunday, 10 a.m. is better than your Sunday shows. Okay, you don't want to watch Meet the Press. You don't want to watch that. You don't want to watch that. You don't want to watch whatever they're doing on CNN on Sunday morning. You don't want to watch that. Okay, because you're gonna hear the same thing. You're gonna hear somebody else's opinion, right? And it's not gonna come from a Black point of view. And the Black points of view that you get is not gonna come from a Black point of view, right? With respect. So TPG 10 a.m. Sunday mornings. We're giving you political game. We are giving you the political education. And yeah, check us out. Anywhere else you want to find me, connect with ETM Media.
There you go.
Chris doing it big. He everywhere. He giving all the information to the people. So follow
Yeah,
him.
we working.
On the grind. So are we ready for in the news now, or is anything else we want to plug? Are we ready?
I want to do something real quick, if you don't mind.
All right.
I know it's early, okay, but I want to do this real quick. I wanted to get some, and I know we're gonna go into it, but if I could just sneak and steal some top of the night, early in the night predictions for who's gonna win, okay? And we can just go around real quick. All right, who you think is gonna win tonight? Who in 2 hours or whatever when they announce the winner? Hopefully tonight. Okay, please don't do what they did to us on last year, right? We waited for like 2 months to figure out who the president was, right? So and then they tried to change it later, right? So who y'all got winning?
I'm gonna jump in there first. I'm definitely gonna say Newsom got this in the bag. That's what I'm saying. Look at that. He's like, he might not have it in a bag, but he's gonna squeak by. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm gonna reserve mine to the end.
Yeah. Oh, you're not gonna put the wager on you have to put the bet on the floor right now?
No, you gotta bet before the car flip. Let's go.
Man.
You gotta put the bet on the floor right now, man.
I'll tell you what.
The exit poll is about to close in 20 minutes.
Oh man, 20 minutes. All right. Well, I'll let Kim go first, and then I'll go.
Well, I think Gavin got it.
I don't know. I mean, Elder, he's putting in work, man.
He's got to get past Gavin, though.
Yeah, exactly.
If Gavin doesn't make it through, question 1, then
I mean, the brothers, he's getting eggs thrown at him. He's putting in work.
Shout out to the team in Venice.
Do we want to take a quick look at the activity that's going on up to the run to the election? We have a quick minute for that.
Yeah, might as well. We free.
All right, let's take a look.
Morning, Road Ragers. This morning I'll be testifying before Congress on the issue of reparations. I'll be opposing them. Reparations, think about it. Reparations is the extraction of money from people who were never slave owners to be given to people who were never slaves. And so when people talk about reparations, do they really want to have that conversation? Because, like it or not, slavery was legal. And so their property, their legal property, was taken away from them after the Civil War. So you can make an argument that the people that are owed reparations, and not only just black people, but also the people whose, quote, property, close quote, was taken away after the end of the Civil War.
Here's a man that don't even like his own people and running for governor. For what? He has 1 year to do if he even wins. He can't do. He wouldn't be able to get nothing done. So why is he running?
Vote no September 14th on this Republican-led power grab of a recall race.
Endorsed by CJEC, Coalition for Just and Equitable California, Emit the Mass Media Group, and the Reparationist Perspective. The egg.
Y'all
I have
funny.
to say the egg. Did you guys like that nice little sound effect that was in there? Shoo.
Well done. Well edited.
Wow.
That was nice, but
Wow.
let's hope that, Gavin pulls through.
Yeah, I don't think Elder's gonna have enough votes to beat Newsom. So if enough people just turn him down, just like Kim pointed out, if enough people vote yes on one, then yeah, Elder's definitely gonna take it.
It's no on one.
No on one, thank you. Give that correction. No
Yeah,
on one.
yeah. So hope we got that. I had to corral my family, my entire family. Yeah, my daughter's back there, co-signing, but I had to wrangle them. I had to wrangle them, put them all in the car, and say, "Let's go vote, y'all." So.
Yeah, there was I feel like there was just to give my little quick like voting experience today. We can talk about more later too, but there was I did there was a little nice flow going in. Like I went to a Dropbox location, which is a couple blocks from me. So there was a nice little flow of people, So it was definitely people, showing up to vote. I think when I got there wasn't no line, but then as I was getting when I went up to the Dropbox and was talking to the clerk, then a line started to form behind me. But yeah, there was some I'm not really paying attention to this. I'm not really focused on this type energy, for a while now, and it's to be understandable, right? It's understandable. So, but I did want to give my prediction too. I don't want to cheat and get everybody's prediction and then not get it, which I could have did. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give my prediction. My prediction is I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go in. Gavin Newsom is gonna remain governor at the end of tonight. That's my prediction. Okay, that's my prediction. Am I right, wrong? How much money would I put on the bet is different, but that's my prediction based on stuff we can talk about later.
Oh man, y'all don't want Elder? Come on.
That's your boo. That's your dude. You roll with Elder.
My boy.
Hey, if you want him, you got another chance because the governor is going to be up for re-election.
Yeah, I get.
Literally after we done here, this after the holidays. Really, I feel hopefully, but hopefully it's after the holidays. But we're going right back into election political season. It's going to turn back up on us, similar to how it felt kind of around in 2018. It's going to turn right back up on us because not only do we have the governor's going to be back up for re-election next year. So if you like somebody else on that list of 45 other people, you might have another chance because one of them may be really running against the governor next year. We'll see though.
What about Chris Lodgson for governor?
Oh man, that's a good question. No, Maybe one day, man.
I
Maybe
know,
one day.
right?
I don't ever put nothing out of the cards, man. And I don't feel like, yeah, maybe one day.
So you
We'll
will
see.
be the first African American governor in this state, because Brother Elder is not gonna be. That's my prediction.
Mr.
Nicely done.
Mr. No reparations. Yeah. Like it would suck to have somebody. I'm just gonna give some of my commentary right now. It would suck to have somebody as governor who did not support reparations. Like, did you hear what we just heard? Right, like on that video, it was almost like he was happy about like being against reparations, right? Like, and remember that, like that first clip, right? I don't know if you remember. Like, he was like, "I'm against." It's like, what you so happy about, man? Like, that's gonna look very bad for you in history right now. You putting that on the airwaves, your kids gonna see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. So.
Well, we're gonna get in the news, but I do have a question, Chris, regarding that to bring to the panel later. So yeah, I definitely want to ask a question about that, but we'll hold that for later.
Let's come back to that.
All right, family. I guess are we ready to roll into this in the news? You ready? All right, let's do it.
Ready.
And that's in the news. See, that was quick, family. All right. This article was originally written on September 12th. So when it says today, is actually referring to September 12th. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards posted to his Facebook page a photo of himself and another gentleman. According to the caption of the photo, that gentleman standing with him is Mr. Lawrence Brooks, America's oldest living World War II veteran and Louisianian. Happy 112th birthday to Mr. Lawrence Brooks, America's oldest living World War II veteran and a proud Louisianian. Mr. Brooks, the entire state of Louisiana thanks you for your service, and we all wish you a joyous birthday, according to Governor John Bel Edwards on his Facebook page. Salute, salute, salute.
Happy birthday, Mr. Brooks.
For real, 112.
All right, you want me to take this one, or
was I on mute?
Yes, you were.
Okay. Biden says California voters will get Donald Trump if they vote Newsom out. President Biden told California voters at a Long Beach rally in support of Governor Gavin Newsom, who is facing recall election, that the eyes of the nation are on the Golden State as it makes a decision that will reverberate around the world, and warned, you either keep Gavin Newsom as your governor or you'll get Donald Trump. The president described the leading Republican candidate, conservative radio talk show host Larry Elder, as a clone of former President Trump, and said California voters need to send a message to the rest of the country. Earlier in the day, Biden and Newsom surveyed wildlife damage in the Sacramento area. More than 2 million acres of land have burned in the state this year. On top of that, 3 million acres that burned during the last year's devastating fires.
Members of Congress and their staff are exempt from Biden's vaccine mandate. President Joe Biden's new vaccine mandates for federal employees don't apply to members of Congress or those who work for Congress or the federal court system. Biden issued 2 executive orders on Thursday requiring vaccination against COVID for federal workers and contractors who work for the federal government. He also asked the Department of Labor to issue an emergency order requiring businesses with more than 100 employees to ensure their workers are vaccinated or tested on a weekly basis. However, Biden's order on federal workers applies to employees of the executive branch The House of Representatives and the Senate belong to the separate legislative branch, and the courts to the judicial branch of the federal government. Yeah, I think you're on mute, unless you don't want to read Sacramento Mayor Darrell.
No, I'll take it. Sacramento Mayor Darrell Steinberg tests positive for COVID-19. Sacramento Mayor Darrell Steinberg tweeted on Saturday he tested positive for COVID-19 on Friday. Steinberg's symptoms include fever and cold-like symptoms. He will be quarantined until doctors give him the clear that he is fully recovered. Please, everybody, get vaccinated, Steinberg tweeted. The Delta variant is highly contagious. If you're not vaccinated, there's a much higher chance of illness or death. It is not clear the circumstances that led Steinberg to test positive for COVID-19. According to the CDC, vaccine breakthrough cases are expected because no vaccine is 100% effective at preventing an illness in vaccinated people.
Fourth stimulus check, the latest on $600 for Californians, $1,000 teacher bonuses, and the petition. California residents will receive the second stimulus check and the third child tax credit payment this week. Parents can expect their third child tax credit check on Wednesday, but if you are a California resident, you could look for an even more money with the second round of the Golden State stimulus checks for $600 or up to $1,100 for this Friday. The extra stimulus money, either from Washington or your state, have provided U.S. households with much needed cash throughout the ongoing pandemic. But unfortunately, some families may even owe the IRS for the past stimulus checks due to a math error. Wah, wah, wah. Given widespread financial insecurity and the surge in Delta variant cases, there's plenty of support across the U.S. for more direct relief. One petition calling for $2,000 recurring checks has collected over 2.87 million signatures, yet Congress has not authorized a fourth stimulus check this year and isn't planning to. Lawmakers are focused on the $1 trillion infrastructure bill and the $3.5 trillion federal budget package.
Revealed, LAPD officers told to collect social media data on every civilian. The Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, has directed its officers to collect the social media information of every civilian they interview, including individuals who are not arrested or accused of a crime, according to records shared with The Guardian. Copies of the field interview cards the police complete when they question civilians reveal that LAPD officers are instructed to record the civilians' Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and other social media accounts alongside basic biographical information. An internal memo further shows that the police chief, Michael Moore, told employees that it was critical to collect the data for use in investigations, arrests, and prosecutions, and warned that supervisors would review cards to ensure they were complete.
Subway employee says she's suspended after fighting off robber. An Illinois Subway employee fought off an armed robber and claims she's being punished for it. A Subway restaurant employee says she's been suspended for her job shortly after a video of her fighting off a robber went viral. Araceli Sotelo of Rockford, Illinois, thwarted a robbery attempt on September 5th, 2021, according to leaked security camera footage that was first shared with the public from RockfordScanner.com, a local news outlet that routinely reports on police blotters. The video, which is time-stamped at around 10:38 a.m., shows Sotelo, Sotelo fend off a robber who entered the store and walked directly behind the sandwich counter. As a scuffle between the two continued outside the employee-only section, the unknown assailant dropped his gun and Sotelo quickly retrieved it. Sotelo shared a copy of the video to her TikTok account, whatever that is, on Thursday with the caption, "A man came into my job and tried to rob me." More than 8.2 million people have seen the video on TikTok. While tens of thousands of commenters commended Sotelo for her bravery, she shared an update on Friday saying she's been suspended from her job following the incident. Representatives for Subway did not confirm whether Sotelo has been suspended when Fox News reached out for comment. And I believe, is that it? Or do we have one more?
No, I believe that's it. So has anyone seen that video?
No, but I bet I'm gonna be looking it up.
Yeah.
It was
all right.
Man. Yeah, she went in, and well, the robber went in. I'll just give a brief synopsis of it. The dude went in, and she was just like, just basically defended herself. The dude dropped the gun. They started squabbling, and like he tried to take her purse or something like that. And so after he tried to like retrieve her purse, she like picked up the gun and she just was smacking it. Bah, bah, bah. And dude like just ran out. So shout out to her, man. She was just like, I don't know why she just was like, go ahead, take it. This ain't my business. Take whatever you want. See ya, but don't take my purse. Outside of that, go ahead, but she was very brave. That's all I know.
But the fact that she was suspended, she should have got a raise.
Word. Yeah, that was kind of ridiculous. So hopefully, Subway will look into it and either give her job back, or I don't know. I maybe smell a lawsuit.
Yeah, she should own that Subway.
Yeah, I definitely feel a lawsuit is coming on with that one. So anyway, I think that is in the news, and a lot of crazy stuff going on. A lot of crazy stuff.
Great job.
I can certainly attest to that. LAPD trying to gather everybody's information.
Have you ever been stopped by one of these race soldiers and been accosted for your social media information, or is this?
I've never been accosted for it, but when I got arrested, yeah, they were asking all those questions. And I was like, I know that I don't have to give this information to you. Like, here's my name and here's my ID, and that's it. But they were asking, like, where'd you go to school? What's your social media? What's your Twitter? You got TikTok.
Wow.
They're asking everything. Like, who do you live with? What's your license plate number? I was like, my name. Well, I can't say my proper name, but here's my ID. And let's go.
Yeah, that is crazy, man. I'd have been like, whoa, what's your social media account?
So I do that. Where you?
Are you on TikTok? As a matter of fact,
you will be making famous.
You will be. That's hilarious. Before we actually start jumping into this recall information, we are going to be hosting the task force. Has a meeting coming up on the 23rd and the 24th, and so that's going to be once again a very informative process. We're going to run a quick promo for it because that's what we like to do. We like to run promos to keep everybody up to date. So let's go run a little something.
The third California Reparations Task Force meeting is scheduled for September 23rd and 24th. All California Reparations Task Force meetings are open to the public and welcome public comment. Amend the Mass Media Group provides coverage of all California Reparations Task Force meetings. Tune in, tap in, and testify. Reparations Now, fam.
Yeah, so come check us out.
Oh, I love that.
Provided from the wonderful voice herself,
I love that.
Kim on
Kim,
the
that was
move.
awesome, Kim.
Tap in, family, tap in. But like Demoy was saying, just gathering these testimonies, it's so very important. So encourage everybody to get involved.
Which next call in at our regularly scheduled program. We're going to talk about, the testimony process, how people can get involved and so forth. Chris, you got anything to say about, the task force, what's coming up, et cetera, the meetings?
Yeah, just supposed to know. Yeah, just supposed to know. So we're talking about the California Reparations Task Force. So we're saying task force, and that's our language, right? But people may not know fully what we're talking about. So the California Reparations Task Force. It's meeting has a September meetings, the 23rd and 24th. As the promo said, I love that promo. That might be the first actual video promo for a California Reparations Task Force meeting. There's been no video promos ever. Kim, you have the crown, and you are now in history as having the first ever California Reparations Task Force video promo ever. All right, so yeah, hats off.
Get it, Kim. Get it.
Thank you. I am honored. The honor is all mine. I mean, anything I can do to raise awareness.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna
that's Queen that's really all I want to say about it. Y'all said everything already. Obviously tune in the 23rd, 24th, but connect with us on the 21st. That's the Tuesday, I believe, and join us for community call-in. Connect with us and like Kim and Moy was saying, get involved, share your story, share your thoughts, talk about why you think reparations is needed for Black folks here in California, what reparations should look like, et cetera, et cetera. So tune in, tap in, and I'll see you there.
Well, Chris, I know that you have been collecting testimony on social media. How's that coming along? Are you still collecting? Is there a end date for your collection?
Yeah, so I'm helping support the collection that CJEC is doing, right? So CJEC is collecting it's organizing and collecting testimony, and specifically though, great migration stories from Black folks here in California. So we're asking Black folks here in California, how and why did you come to California? This is on behalf of the Coalition for Just and Equitable California, CJEC. I'm just helping do that, right? That's going great. Some of the stories we have, some of the comments and some of the testimony that people are just sharing about their own family history, and I mean it's stuff that is going to be the fact that it's a part of the historical record is really, really important, but it's going to be important to actually helping us make the case for the reparations proposals that we ultimately create, right? So this is something that we really, really want to be doing. There's no end date for us. We're going to be sending it to the reparations task force. You can obviously send it to them directly too, but the stuff that we collect and we send, there's no end date. We want to have stuff for them coming on a regular basis. So we've started over the last 2 months, and we're going to continue forever, really.
All right, and then next week hopefully we'll have more information in terms of how people can either watch it on the YouTube channel here on Amend the Mass Media, or I think there's a phone number, some phone numbers floating around. Is that right, Chris?
So the meeting. By the way, the website that was in the video promo is the website that you can go to access all of the information about the details for the next California Reparations Task Force meeting. There's now a phone number that you can call and leave a voicemail comment to the task force. You can do that right now. That can be done at any time. So if you have any questions, any thoughts, any comments to share with the Reparations Task Force, you can use that number right now, but you can also use their email. They have an email address too. You can get signed up for their for their newsletter. We have one. Also, CJEC has one also. But to connect to the next public meeting, you have a couple of different options. You can do what I think is the most simple thing, which is to subscribe to here to ETM and just watch it right here as we live stream it and live blog it and all that good stuff, right? So pull up next, I believe it's next week, right? Or yeah, right? So pull up next Wednesday, next Thursday, the 24th and 25th, if my math is right. Sorry, 23rd and 24th, if my math is right. And, just watch with us, right? And, talk with us as we talk in the comments and all that good stuff. But if you want to connect directly to the meeting and join the actual meeting, the California Reparations Task Force uses Blue Jeans, okay, which is like some Zoom style meeting software, right? So you can definitely connect through that also. But the easiest, the simplest way to do it is just to subscribe and click and sit back and do what you're doing right now.
Get your popcorn, fam. Get your popcorn.
And I put the website to the California Reparations Task Force in the chat for anybody who wants to access all the information they have on their website there. And I also put the Twitter handle for CJEC Official. Swing by if you want to share your migration story. The survey should be up and available.
Definitely.
Do y'all are y'all ready to get to some of this recall stuff? Because we got some results coming in, y'all.
Well,
okay.
The polls are closed.
Well, okay. Before we do that,
the polls closed 8 minutes ago.
All right. Before we do that, I want to post something to see how close it was this morning, because we grabbed a screenshot this morning. Let's see where it is, and I want to see how close it is to what it is right now. So, this was as of 11 a.m. this morning, today. There was that gap, as you could see, where it was like 57.3%. It was like no on the recall, and then to remove was 41.5%. So, trying to figure out.
Let's talk about what we're looking at, right? Let's explain a little bit about what we're looking at, and what we're looking at is and where it's coming from, right? So this is a chart or a graph from 538.com, right? And this is not one poll. This is an average of many different polls, or as many as we can get. So an average of polls over time. So it's not one poll. The line on the top is the let me make sure I'm looking at it right. The line on the top, that purple line, is the line to keep Gavin Newsom. So to keep the governor. So that's the no, right? So the no poll, or the no responses are at the like that blue purple line, and then the orange line is those who want to remove the governor, right? And these are poll averages over time. So it's taking different polls, because different polls have different strengths. Some polls are better, some polls are worse. So it's taking different polls over time and looking at the averages over time. And yeah, you're right, Yumoya. As of September 14th, the last poll average showed that 57.3% of the people responding said that they were going to vote to keep Gavin Newsom. So that's the no vote. That's the no recall vote. And then 41.5% of folks said that they were going to vote to remove the governor. So that's the yes recall vote. So I just wanted to give folks a little bit of understanding of what they're looking at as we get ready to compare this to some real live results.
All right. And CO, it seems like you have some information, updated information, or
yes, I'm watching the polls live right now. So as of now, we have 5 counties that have submitted. Napa, Merced, I don't know if I'm saying that right, MERCED.
I think that's it.
San Diego and Ventura all have a majority of no. And then Trinity coming in with 54% voted yes. First one.
Wow.
Trinity,
I'm
yes.
looking at.
Wow. Where is that?
I'm looking
That's
at
way worse.
something very similar actually. Um, I'm looking at some of the one we have. So I wanted to make a quick distinction too before we jump into um, some of what CEO was saying. So we're looking at what CEO's talking about are like actual returns, like from like the precincts, right, or from like the actual like places, right. So and then there's also something called exit polls too, and exit polls are just polls of people, who are leaving the voting booth. Okay, so as you leave, or after you've left, you get called and asked, "Hey, how did you vote?" Okay, and so we just want to just throw those words out there, throw those concepts out there, so we could understand. But yeah, I mean, I got some info to share too. But do we want to chop up some of what CEO said? I mean, having those 4 counties reporting so early, and it looks like Newsom is off to an early lead.
Yeah, as of now, a couple more coming in. Right now, for the no vote, we've got 63.2%. For the yes vote, 36.8 thus far.
Yeah, that's about
7
what I'm
counties.
here too. Yeah, and keep in mind too, about 9 million people had voted before today. So between when voting started last month, which is normally 6 weeks before the last day to vote, Californians can start early voting. So between 6 weeks ago and now, right? Man, we have I think about 9-10 million different, like 9-10 million votes already in. That's before today, and obviously we got some 32 million people who actually got a ballot or got something mailed out. So yeah.
So I'm curious, Chris. So what the folks who do early voting, are those counted in these numbers that are being reported per county now, or are they kept separate and added in afterwards?
I don't think they're being counted right now in the numbers that you're reporting right now. I think that's a separate calculation. I could be wrong. So let's fact check and let's verify. But I don't think those are counting the early votes. I think those are specifically those that are coming in today. But let's definitely double check on that. And I'm getting like I said, the numbers that I'm looking at, these numbers are coming from CNN Politics right now. The no has a similar, like you were saying, lead of 64.5% with 1.5 million votes for no, and 35.5 for yes, with 857,000 votes in for yes. So it's 65 to 35 right now, basically, in favor of the Keep the Governor campaign.
That's right. And as of now, only 21% has been reported. So we got a little bit more ways to go.
Yeah, right. Yeah, looks like only 20% of the counties are reported. Just a little bit more about some of those exit poll numbers or those exit poll surveys that I was just sort of referring to. And stop me if we want to jump into some of the programming too. But I just wanted to give just an early look at some of what we're seeing coming in now, because we do have some real live results coming in now. So 45% of Californians think Newsom's policies on COVID-19 pandemic are about right. That's those who have responded to the exit polls. All right, so those who responded to the exit polls after they voted, about 45% of those people said, at least as of an hour or so ago, that they thought Gavin Newsom was handling the pandemic about right. A majority of the voters said, who were in that exit poll, said that the coronavirus was their first most important issue. Homelessness was the second most important issue, I think, and then I think the economy was the third. About 53% of at least the last time we checked, and again, according to the exit polls, about 53% of the voters today were women, right? Well, people who identify as women, right? and then about 47% were people who identify as men, basically. And there's a little bit more. I mean, I can go into some of the racial breakdown if you're ready, but if we want to hear, let's hear it, right? So more than half of all the voters so far, at least according to the exit polls, were white. So we have about 56%, of the voting people today were white. About 25% were Latino, 8% Black, 7% Asian, and other racial and ethnic groups about 5%. Again, that was just a snapshot about an hour ago, right? So as more results come in, right, these numbers will update. But we just want to give you a quick snapshot at where we are right now, as we are about 17 minutes after the polls close here in California.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Uh-oh. Wow.
Don't say uh-oh like that.
I just refreshed the page.
I know. He's like, you trying to
I
scare
refreshed
us?
the page to look at the updated, so estimated 43% of counties reporting. The no vote has jumped up to 70.1%. And the yes vote has dropped down to about 29%. So it's about 3.8 million votes for no, 1.65 for yes.
So what's going to give him the 50% tile that he needs to be victorious?
Yeah, so we'll need all of the counties to report. So right now we're at about 43% of them. So we need to get up to 100% or close to 100%. And then what the final is, will mean that he will have to have at least 50%. So he's gonna have to hold his lead, basically. So of all the votes that come in next, right, and those that are going to be counted, those that were mailed in, he has to hold his lead, and it has to stay above 50% in order for, at least right now, he has to stay above 50%, hold his lead until basically the clock runs out and all of the votes are counted.
Okay, I was just wondering if he could get to 50% before, all the counties had submitted. I mean, there's only a finite number of voters. Once you get X amount of ballots, you say probability of anyone surpassing this. I mean, they just can't call the election until every single vote is counted.
Yeah, I would imagine not.
Every single vote?
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris.
Sorry, no, I was
done. Because don't we still have the ability to walk in and register?
Up until the day of, yeah.
Up until the day of. So so we don't know what the max number of people is. Let's just say it's 10 million, or I'm sure it's way more than that. But we don't know what that top number is, so we don't actually know what 50%.
So we could be here a while.
Well, hopefully not. We're currently at 44% reported.
Right. Yeah, and those numbers are going up and down as they will. I'm looking at the newest updates. Now the no is back down to 66, so it's at 66, and the yes is back up. It's up at 63. It's about 4.2 million votes for no, 2.1 million votes for yes. So yeah, and CEO's right. We don't know who's gonna vote. But remember, there is a cutoff point, right? Because the polls close. So people are still in line. So if you're in line, usually you're still, even if you're in line after 8 o'clock, you're either in line or inside of the place, then you can still vote. So the polls are going to close. That's going to be the cutoff point. And then, like I was saying, Newsom has to keep his lead right now. And it is possible, if it's a blowout, if it's a big lead, then I think we'll know pretty quickly or pretty soon tonight who the winner is. If with let's say, I think this is sort of what you were sort of getting to, Kim. Let's say,
yeah, that's what I was getting to. A blowout, what that would look like.
Yeah, if it's 99% of the votes in, and Newsom is up 65 to 35, right? It's almost impossible, just based on the number of votes left, right? That the other, the people who are losing can close that gap. At a certain point, the math starts to work against you, as they say, right? So like, so there is a point where, you know, if we get enough, the precincts reporting, and I'm looking at 49% in now, you know, if we get enough in, and the lead is just too big, the other campaigns are just going to run out of votes, and it's just going to be not enough votes to, you know, even if every single remaining vote went to, you know, the people that were losing, it would still not matter because the winner is in such a big lead, right?
So how do you determine that number if we don't know how many folks are voting or how many folks are registered, or is it just a max number of people in California of the eligible age to vote?
Yeah, no. So that's a good question. And I don't know if there's an exact formula for it. The political people in the chat and who are watching this can either comment in. I don't know if there's an exact formula for it because I think it's based on like expectations. So I think we just have to look for you know, one, I think getting like more of the precincts in, right? So like, let's say we get, you know, 70-80% of the precincts in. I was saying 99 before, but like let's say we get like 70, like a majority of the precincts in, and the lead is, you know, 15 points. There will be a point in which no matter how much the other side does, they just won't be able to catch up. But I'm not exactly sure how to calculate that exact number. That might be a good exercise for you know, us to try to do, right? So I try to, you know, figure out what's the math formula, you know, basically to, you know when is it, you know, it's like in basketball, right? It's 30 seconds left on the clock and y'all down 100 or 50. Y'all, it doesn't matter if y'all score every single second in the next 30 seconds, which is impossible in basketball anyway. Y'all still not gonna catch up. Yeah,
I know. I've seen some crazy OT. They go into OT.
That's
They
true,
be
yeah.
they come back. I mean, you'd be like, what happened?
Like the classic. And I'm from a city where somebody did that to us in the garden, and it's, you know, it's in the history books now. Back when I was a little kid, I used to watch the Knicks games, and I think they played the Indiana Pacers one year. I think Reggie Miller like scored like 16 points like in like 9 seconds or something. You know what I'm saying? And like, yeah, so anything is possible, and this is politics, and anything is possible. We are looking at, you know, early returns now. I'm just looking at some of the updates. The no has jumped back up now to 70. I mean, this is looking like an early blowout. I mean, I'm just gonna go out on a limb here, but this looks like an early blowout. Looking like an early blowout. Again, we don't have all the precincts in. We got about 49% of the counties reporting now. More than, yeah. I'm looking at some of the posts. Yeah. So yeah, 70-30.
So I got a quick question. Like, you know, there are some, I don't know if you want to call them Republicans or conservatives that are Trump supporters that, you know, a lot of them were touting the idea that in the last election that came up for the presidential election that, you know, basically it was tainted. You know, the ballots weren't no good, etc. And there's some rumors going around that, you know, elders camp and like a lot of the Republicans are saying the same thing about this election as well. Has anybody on this panel, I can give it to Chris, but maybe some people might know. One, have you heard that? And two, what is the likelihood of the opposing parties involved who may not have won the recall election to actually contest this election?
I might pass the mic on this one and come back around and, you know, bat second or third or something. You know?
Well, I shared an article with the with our Signal group not too long ago. Larry Elder built a website that he was like almost prepping for his loss, and it was like gathering information on fraud and all these other things. So, I mean,
it's a possibility.
I think it's one of those things where, I mean, Trump like was the tip of that spear, at least in my life when I started paying attention to politics. And so it's kind of like dribbled down to a lot of his party. So I feel like in a couple of states you'll hear that, like, oh yeah, it's all a sham, it's all rigged, there's a problem, and it's kind of like a backup. But I don't necessarily understand it because they still run, right? There's no real effort to find and fix these errors, but it's just touted as if it's a self-evident fact and everybody's just supposed to know. And you know it's like they're starting, like you said, like Elder's already starting his losing campaign. So I haven't heard it, but again, I don't really surround myself with Trumpers or 3%ers or folks like that, and I don't really pay too much attention to them when I see them out and about.
I mean, and wouldn't the election have to be really close in order for that to even work? Because the presidential election was, I mean, pretty close. And I don't know if any of you guys have heard it, because they certainly aren't talking about it in the mainstream media, but recounting votes in like Arizona and different places. I mean, how come we're not hearing more about this? Because people are like, oh, don't you know they're recounting votes? Trump actually really won. We're going to find out any day now. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. 10 months later, yeah. Or like a year later, right? I did hear. So I noticed there was some talk about this circulating in some of the, like, in some of the corporate media. The stories around. I think if one reporter asked Elder, would he accept the results of the election if he won or lost, and he would not say yes or no, like or at least in the clip that they showed, because you don't really know, but they made it sound like he would not say he would, accept the results of the election. And that is the same thing that we were hearing people ask Donald Trump last year around this time too, and he had a very similar same answer. I gotta say a couple more things on this. One, I think CO is right. I think you're right too, Kim. That there's it's like almost getting ready to lose. So you start talking to the refs and talking about how the game was rigged. But I do have to say this, and people who work in California Democratic Party politics know this for a fact. There's real big problems in the way that the California, like the way that California, handles its own like internal like party politics and like elections around like internal party stuff. And I'm talking about like the California Democratic Party. That's very widely publicized, very widely reported on. And so, I don't want us to I don't want to not say that, because like talk to Black people who work in or were or are a part of like the California Democratic Party, which by the way is I think the second largest Democratic organization in the country, next to the DNC, like next to the National Democratic Party. Like the California, like talk to some Black folks who've been trying to make Black people have a presence inside the California Democratic Party, and they will tell you about big problems that they've had, here with like party elections and stuff like that. So, I like that's real. That is very real. And I'm talking specifically about that. That is very real. And we gotta do our job and actually say that, because it's not just we can't just say, oh, the Republicans are not. Like, let's keep it real.
All right. Well, we're about an hour and 15 minutes into the program, and apologize, family. We did start a little later, had some technical difficulties, but we still came through on a Tuesday as usual here for you. So we really appreciate everybody watching this. As always, we really appreciate you. We appreciate everyone who's going to be looking at this once this live stream is done and this program is over. If you happen to take a look at the replay of it, we appreciate you watching this. But before we go,
Yeah.
wanted to ask family a question, and I'm going to put it on the screen. Let's see what this is. What would happen if Larry Elder won the recall race? Dun, dun, dun. World War IV in California, or 3, 2, something.
Nah.
He won't be able to do much.
Yeah, like the guy on Venice Beach was saying, he wouldn't be able to do anything.
He would.
I mean, I guess
He would. I mean, like, he would have power. Like he would definitely have power, right? I mean, like that's a the governor would have power. So like he would like.
But would there be
same way
time
that-
for him to do anything? Let's see. What is he focused on? He's focused on eliminating vaccine mandates and
COVID
mask
mandates.
mandates.
Yeah.
So I guess he could do that.
That's a huge impact.
What else? What else is he?
In
What
one-
else is his platform that he's running on?
I know he was what else was on his platform? He was running. What did he say to like? He doesn't believe in minimum wage. So basically, to drop that down to 0. I don't see how.
Yeah,
I don't know
how
that
you
the
gonna
governor
so you're
can
working
do that
on tips
independently.
only.
I'm trying to think what was on his platform that he himself could do without needing buy-in from any other part of the California government.
Good question. Let's go to his website.
Let's do
The website.
So,
His fraudulent website.
What's his actual platform? That's a good question. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is his actual platform? And I remember going to his website a while back. So I didn't mean to cut in. Sorry.
No, go ahead. You know more about it than I do.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up his website. So give me a second. But like like that's a good question. What is his platform? But also the same question goes for Newsom, right? Right. What else is he gonna do, or what is he gonna do if he keeps his job too? But it's definitely a good question to ask you more. Like what would happen if Larry Elder was elected governor or someone else from that pool of candidates? And Kim, your question is right too. What power does the governor have? Like, and can they do right just on their own? What actual executive power do they have? Which I feel like is a lot to be honest. Not only does the governor the legislature has to have the governor's signature for the most of the stuff. So there's things that would matter for the Senate and California, the Assembly of California. But I'm not.
Chris, I got a question.
Yeah, I'm not alarmed. Yeah.
I mean, so this is all hypothetical, right? I doubt that he's going to win, but hypothetically speaking, let's say he becomes governor, and let's say he wins another election, and say he's in for another 4 or 5 years. I'm just hypothetically putting this out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the reparations proposals came about, and he was up to sign for those proposals from the task force. Can you give us a scenario on what would happen if someone like a Larry Elder, who's basically not for reparations, what would happen in that particular scenario, or could potentially happen?
Yeah, it could definitely potentially happen if he is elected, and for the others too. And in that case, it's hard to say, because the way that we do our work here in California, the way that we work in terms of our organizing and our advocacy, in the real world, we would have had built relationships with the governor's office no matter who's there, right? And so some things may be easier or harder, but I'm confident that we would be able to and some things may take more work, but I'm confident that based on the work that I've seen us do here as just regular Black folks in California, helping to get a whole state law passed, actually get a reparations task force. That's never happened. And then, on the verge of some other really important legislation that's on Gavin Newsom's desk right now. By the way, Gavin Newsom signed AB 105, right?
AB
He did?
Okay. No, not yet, but I'm
Okay, so well then I have a real-time question. Given this recall tonight, how long does he stay in his position before he's removed? Will he have time to get 105, AB 105 signed before he vacates, even if he does lose?
Yeah, good question. I'm not 100% sure actually, but I don't think it's immediate. Like I don't think it's like tomorrow. Because I think the bills that I think his term will at least go through the legislative deadline for him to sign bills. I'm not 100% sure. But let me check with that and follow back up before we leave tonight.
Cool.
Thank you.
If I can slide in with a bit more information about to go back to the question about what will he be able to do. So the governor in general just approves the state budgets and appropriations, enactment of legislation, definitely has veto power, confirmation of appointments, and legislative oversight, right? So what that kind of means is like, yeah, they can go in and affect budgets. What that would mean for California specifically, like well, my question would be about like police budgets. What folks trying to like increase it or decrease it, he'd have ability or an oversight on that. Veto, we know what veto power is. Any new piece of legislation that comes through that gets approved and the other forms of government, once it lands on his desk, he has the ability to say, no, I don't want this, absolutely not. And veto it. The governor can also pardon, commute, or put folks on parole, basically, like control that. So that's something that he could do without needing anybody else. He heads the National Guard. So when there are uprisings or when stuff goes down, he can call out the National Guard and have them show up. Yeah, let's say worst case scenario. I won't say worst case, but let's say Elder does drop in there tonight. There is ways that he can come in and affect change in ways that we don't particularly enjoy. Also, he has the ability to appoint judges, some state offices, and such like that. A couple of files vacant. Any vacant seat in the Senate, he'd be able to appoint someone up there as well. So he's not harmless. He wouldn't be harmless.
It's powerful. Okay, that's a powerful ass job. Excuse my French and my Swahili. Okay, it's a powerful job. Okay. And that, CEO, you just said, like, one thing you said, CEO, is like, I don't want to go over people's head, like, that budget, okay? The budget, that's the money, okay? That's California's money, okay?
Yep.
All right? The fifth largest economy in the planet's money, okay? The governor actually presents, I think, like, their own budget, like, version and says, here, y'all, this is what I want to see. And then there's, like, negotiations and stuff like that between, and then they have to come to an agreement. Okay. And we have to have a budget. Okay. So there's gonna be right. And if you don't want, if you want to see more police, or if you want to get this reparations money out this budget, okay, right. Right. Like that's a powerful position. And so the governor will have power, whoever that is. But like I was saying, I'm confident in the work that we're capable of here. That either way, we're going to be able to be successful in the things that we are fighting for.
That part, you gotta go hard, like Chris said, no matter who's in office.
All right. Well, that was one of the questions that I wanted to bring up before we actually left, because there's some, I guess, some reservation, especially if Elder gets in from the community. Yeah. If he gets
in.
Chris, you're killing me with these uh-ohs now.
What now?
Making my heart palpitate.
We have a projection. We have a projected winner.
Drum roll, please.
We have a projected winner.
Sorry, that sounds like more gunshot.
And I guess it answers some of that math question, because they're projecting a winner with 61% of the county's reporting. Okay. So with 61% of the counties reporting right now, CNN is projecting that Gavin Newsom will remain governor of California with 67 right now, looking at 67.5% of the vote right now, 5.3 million votes in to keep the governor, 32.5% saying he should go, 2.5 million votes saying he should go. And so CNN right now is confident enough to project that even if every single next vote went to the other, people who want to remove the governor, they still wouldn't be able to make up the 3 million vote difference right now, or so. So how they did that math, we gotta figure that out, right? But
Curious about that, yeah.
but that they're confident right now, yeah.
There's only 7 counties that have yet to report as yet.
Right, and so they're probably saying, all right, look at those counties. How many total votes could come from those counties, right? All right, if they're like, let's say those counties, there's like not even 3 million people in those counties altogether, then there's no way that even if all 7 of those counties, even if every man, woman, baby, child, voted, they still wouldn't be able to make up that 3 million vote difference because there's not 3 million votes left, basically.
That makes sense.
So how we get that? Yeah.
CO, does it mention? I know larger counties like Los Angeles and San Francisco and Sacramento. Are there? Did they show any predictions where you're at on there, or those?
No, I'm not. I don't have any of the predictions in front of me. We'll have to rely on Chris for those.
All right.
I just see which counties have come in, the percentage of yes and no, and the estimated votes reported.
Cool.
Are there any?
With CO. Oops, sorry, Kim. Sorry about that.
No, I was just saying, are there any dark horses in the demographics that came through and pushed it over? Demographic, has that information changed?
We're looking at so right now we're looking at, we don't have any demographic info yet, or at least any updated demographic info like the racial breakdown. But right now it looks like there was some, at least from CNN, there was some strong union turnout. So they're right now pointing to voters who were excuse me members of unions who were at least a large part of the people voting to keep Newsom. But I do want to say one thing about where CO is. So CO is in a really important place. In LA County, I think there's about 10 million people, or like in that area, like where CO is about 10 million people. I think about a quarter of all the votes come from where she is in like normal elections. Quarter of all California, 1 out of every 4 or 5 votes in California come from where CO is in like a normal election, or like in past elections rather. And most of the area where she is right now, most of that area is normally like registered Democrat or would vote Democrat normally. So it's a place where there's it's like a very like vote rich place in the city, in the state, and most of that is Democratic voters, most.
Yeah, the numbers we had for Los Angeles County, 76% of folks voted no, 24% voted yes.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, that's a big. So you think about that, right? So if the past looks like if the present looks like the past, right, and the last election looked like this, or this election looks like the last election, if 1 in every 4 votes comes from where CO is, and 3 out of every 4 of those votes is going to the Democrat, then that's a really strong. So that's gonna put whoever they're voting for in a really strong position to have a really strong lead. And keep in mind too that registered Democrats outnumber registered Republicans in California almost 2 to 1. Okay? So just with your starting registered voter army, the Democratic registered voter army is twice as big as the Republican registered voter army in California. That doesn't count independents, right? Doesn't count people who may not have any registration and may jump into the process. But if we're talking about people who registered, who signed up for the Democratic Party forces, signed up for the Republican Party forces, signed up, it's a 2-to-1 lead. So if you start with a 2-to-1 lead, and then you go and you get 77%, 76% of the place where a quarter of your votes are going to come from, then you're in a real good position. And if you add to that in the early votes, and we were saying this a couple weeks ago, right? In the early voting, like the ballots that were being returned, it was like even Democrat, Republican, even-ish, maybe a little bit like lean Democrat. And so the Democrats were holding their own in the early voting. And then on election day, it looks like that they are, now turning out in even bigger numbers to give Gavin Newsom this big lead. I mean, this is a big lead. I mean, think about that poll, that chart we were looking at that, in the beginning, right? Those poll averages at one point in like early August, first, second, third, fourth, this was a tie race. This was a tie. And at some point, it looks like Gavin Newsom might have been losing, right? But things have really widened. It looks like he's going to beat. He looks like he's going to beat the poll average projection here of like a 15-point lead win.
Nice. Well, it looks like, Governor Gavin Newsom will continue to be the governor of California.
Look at that. Just one additional note to add in. Should this have not gone his way, everyone's prediction about Elder was correct. Thus far, he's gotten 42.6% of the vote, followed by Kevin Pafford, who has 11.0%. So Elder definitely would have been sliding in there had Newsom not have the lead that he has right now.
Wow. He'd have been the
This
first
is looking like a blowout right now, man. 67-33. Oof. That's they're doing worse. Right? Like they're doing worse than we thought. I mean, these will close a little bit, I think, because these are projections, right? And there have been times where projections have been wrong. It's not impossible for projections to be wrong, but again, this is most of this is based on math, right? Like the math is not going to change. But yeah, this is looking like a blowout here, and CO's right. Elder has 1.3. So let's keep it real. 1.7 million people. 1,733,939 plus people voted for Larry Elder.
Sure.
Okay. Here in California. So yeah.
A blowout. So like I said, what a big waste of money. This cost over $200 million to put this thing on. So, white people can find money for what they want to find it for. But what a waste.
Agreed.
Yep. Taxpayers' money spent. Wow. Not.
So you think we can rest easy with these projections, you say, huh, Chris?
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, because now it's not just CNN. Now the projections are coming in from other places too. And yeah, I think it's. I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say now that these projections are right. I don't know if we want to do our own projection based on these projections, but ETF Media is projecting that the projections are right. So, but yeah, I think these are hold. And I think. Like we said, we are going right back into we are going right back into election season right after this for another governor's race next year, right? But this is definitely a strong showing for Gavin Newsom, right? Because it makes his reelection next year I think much more likely, right? Because California voters just said right now, hey, yeah, we want to keep this guy. We actually like some of the things he's doing. That's what California voters are saying now, or we at least don't want to replace him with the other options, right? So I think it's a really, really strong showing for him. And I do think though, like I wouldn't if I was in his campaign, I wouldn't take it for granted that he would be reelected. I wouldn't if they're smart, which I'm assuming they are, because to have like your job called up for like examination, is not a good thing anyway, right? Like you shouldn't be having these type of things happen, right? If there's enough, satisfaction with what you're doing. But then again, in these days, this is politics, right? So you could be doing what you think is a good job and still be, recalled. But yeah, I think this is a really strong song for Newsom, and they've got a job on their hands to do this all over again next year.
Yeah, like you said, let's just get through tonight first. See how everything goes as planned. I think I went to bed on the Hillary Trump election. I woke up and was like, "What happened? Wait, what happened? What happened?"
Dude, I was one of the few people who called it. I knew Trump was gonna win. I knew it. I put money on it, and I won big.
Wow,
man! I didn't know. I thought he was gonna win that election. I thought she was gonna win, and I was surprised that Trump won. But I wasn't. But I shouldn't have been surprised.
All right, family. Well, if there's anything else, any more predictions we would like to make.
As of now, there's 2 counties left, Mono and Santa Cruz. Those are the only left to report. So I'm a go with everybody else. Newsom got it in the bag.
Newsom got it.
Oh, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I was gonna say just a heads up. Next year, so as we're saying, next year we have governor's elections, but we also got congressional midterm elections. We call the midterm elections next year. So in addition to here in California, having to vote again for governor or consider voting again for who you want as governor, we also have the options for who to consider whether or not to make a choice for who we want to keep as our senators or replace as our senators. I think there's state elections next year too, if I'm not mistaken. I know, here in the Sacramento area and Northern California area, there's a bunch of elections going on next year too. I'm sure the same is going on down there in Southern California. Obviously, we got the redistricting thing going on right now. This is like a turned up, like political. I mean, we really haven't had no real break, right? Like, we haven't had no break from like 2020.
Well, I think the people that care, like yourself, Chris, and a few of us.
It just doesn't seem like we had a break because, like you said, they the presidential election was the election that just kept on giving, and it's still the election that keeps on giving because people say they're still recounting votes. So
yeah, all right. Chris is still with us.
Hey, Chris.
I know you lost my video.
Lost his video.
I think my video was like phone overheated. So
but yeah, we are definitely still here with Chris family, Men the Mass Media Group. But outside of that family, I think that's about it. CO, Kim, Chris, y'all I do have one thing I want to mention, but I'll let y'all speak your speech before we break out. Does anybody have any?
I'm good. I've said enough.
Yeah, I think we've said it.
All right, so there's some things that Emin the Mass Media Group is working on. Sometimes when you put things out into the universe and you just get it out there, hopefully you receive positive things in return. So I'm going to mention this right now. The young lady to my, I don't know, is it left, right, something there? CO, yes, boots on the ground. The phenomenal CO is where we are currently working on a documentary, and it's going to be fire, family, and it's going to be pretty much based around CO's experience out on the boots on the ground. So it is going to be fire. I'm not going to give too much information, but once we start getting our things together, our ducks in a row, we're going to start promoting it and getting it out there. And getting some feedback, see how it is. So I wanted to put that out there. As I said before, you put stuff out there, you got to try to make it happen. So that's a documentary to be titled. And then there's another documentary that in the Mass Media Group will be working on. It will be called Reparations Now. And if I'm correct, and I'm probably totally wrong about this, but at least within the last, I don't know, 5 to 10 years, I'm not familiar with a reparations documentary that's been made so far. So we are going to at least attempt, maybe the first installation, maybe a lot more, I don't know, attempt in doing the Reparations Now documentary. So putting stuff out there because, got to put it out there, because if you don't put it out there, it's just going to be in the closet somewhere like Prince's vault. Prince just has so much in his vault now, and next thing you know, they just putting stuff out there. That's how it's going to be with ETN Media Group. Be like, man, why don't y'all put stuff out there? Y'all got so much stuff, man, and y'all didn't put nothing out. Like, y'all acting like Prince. So, we're going to be working on that. Depending, we actually might be doing a fundraising GoFundMe for this, because we really want to try to make it as professional as we possibly can. But then again, we'll just do what we need to do with the resource with what we have. But I just wanted to put that out there. And once again, shout out to CO, shout out to Kim, shout out to Chris, just for putting in this great work. 2022, just like 2021 and 2020 and 2019, it's always will be a wonderful year. In 2022, especially on the political side of things, is going to be a very interesting year coming up, fam. So
busy, but good busy. And with that, I guess we will check out until next time. Look for ETN Media, subscribe for all of your reparations task force updates.
The third California Reparations Task Force meeting is scheduled for September 23rd and 24th. All California Reparations Task Force meetings are open to the public and welcome public comment. Amend the Mass Media Group provides coverage of all California Reparations Task Force meetings. Tune in, tap in, and testify. Reparations Now, fam.